Like my friend Pat always says, no is a complete sentence. And today we are going to dive into not only how to use that one little word to end the conversation you don't want to be having, but how to use it as a strategy to grow your business. Welcome to The Solo Grind, your chance to have a cup of coffee with me, Teresa Schloop, as we talk about all the things around building your business solo. We talk about mindset, strategy, and today we're talking about a word that makes a lot of us squirm. That is the word no. And I'm not just talking about saying it once in a while. I am talking about using no as a strategy to grow your business. So grab your favorite morning beverage or afternoon beverage if that's when you're tuning in, and let's chat about how saying no might be the most powerful yes you can give your business. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Solo Grind. I am so excited for today's episode because I have a very special guest with me. But before we dive into that, I'm going to take just a quick moment to introduce me and get those introductions out of the way to anyone new around here so that we can focus on today's guest. If you're new around here, I am Teresa Schloop, the Caffeine Creative, and I provide branding essentials and standout websites to solo small business owners. If that's something you're interested in, or if you just want to book a quick chat to see what I am all about, feel free to go to my website, caffeinecreative.io, and there you can book a consult or learn more about my services. But now let's get into today's topic because this is a really big one for me. When we are small business owners, especially when we're in a creative service-driven field like interior design, saying yes to every opportunity often feels like a path to growth until it leads to burnout, scope creep, and mismatched clients. In today's session, you are going to be empowered because Associate Coach Lesley Myrick has so much energy and she is going to help you flip the narrative saying no isn't a limitation, it is a strategy. She will guide you in identifying which projects and clients are truly aligned with your vision and profit goals and help you define some clear boundaries, plus teach you how to gracefully decline offers that will drain your energy to dilute your brand. With this shift, you are going to free up the capacity to bring in your ideal projects, your ideal dream clients, protect your sanity, and scale your business sustainably. So let me introduce Lesley before we bring her into the show. Lesley is an adventurous and intuitive interior designer and business coach. With 20 plus years of design experience, she leads a full service boutique design firm focused on personality driven, playful, and functional forever homes for the high achieving professional families across Middle Georgia, Atlanta, and beyond. In addition to her design work, Lesley coaches interior designers with Nancy Quinn in the Profit Insiders Academy, helping designers gain clarity, confidence, smarter pricing strategies, and sustainable business growth. And while Lesley is fully immersed and an expert in the interior design field, it doesn't matter what your industry is. She has got some great words of wisdom that is going to help you start using no as a strategy and not seeing it as a limitation in your business. Lesley, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so excited to have you here today.
My pleasure, Teresa. I love our conversations and I'm excited about this topic.
Oh my gosh, this topic, when Pamela first said, here's the one Lesley's thinking of, I was like, yes, because it's so true for solo business owners, interior designers, whatever. When we're trying to grow our business, we feel like every opportunity is something we have to say yes to because it's how we learn and grow and make connections. And there's so many times that we're not making connections. We are just spinning our wheels and burning ourselves out.
Yeah. And it's tough because I think there is a time where saying yes is a good approach. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't know what you don't know. Let's see what could happen. But
absolutely.
on the, playing devil's advocate, there's also a lot of value in knowing what is going to move the needle, what is going to protect your boundaries, your energy, your time, your resources, your finances, and starting to develop that muscle of declining things that aren't a fit.
Yes, absolutely. And you have got some really great talking points you said ahead of time to help us kind of pull some of this out, because sometimes it's hard to know, especially when you're on your own. You don't necessarily have a good sounding board
Yeah.
that understands what you're doing. Like husbands, sorry, they're probably not a sounding board. Mine is a terrible sounding board. If I followed his advice, I don't think I'd have a business, because he doesn't get my world. And
Yeah.
he's fabulous. Like, he's a great guy. I love him, but not a business owner. So you've got some really great talking points. And I really just want to kind of dive into that, because I think these are going to help everybody listening to this episode today. So the first one is all about clarity and knowing exactly what you're saying yes to and no to. So tell me more about your approach to getting that clarity.
Yeah. And for this one, I'd love to give, let's talk in the context of a design project. So let's say you have a new inquiry that came in the door and you're on a consultation call with them and you're learning about them, their family, their project, their needs, where they're located, their investment level. It is so important heading into those calls that you are already crystal clear on what your ideal client's sweet spot is. So, can you serve them well based on their investment? Like, if it's not a fit, it's not a fit. Are they a good personality fit? Are there values things coming up where you're like, I don't know if I want to be in their world? And personality, did they seem like nice people you actually want to connect with?
Mhm.
It is so hard when a lead comes in the door. And I say this from experience. I have had this happen where I have chosen to decline projects. Lovely people. I would love to be able to help them. But saying yes to, and I'm just thinking of one project as an example, saying yes to this project that didn't include furnishings, which I love. It was just renovation management. It was more than an hour and a half away from me, and it had a really short timeline. I could just tell that as much as I wanted to say yes to this lovely couple and help them out, I couldn't, in good conscience and integrity, say yes. It would have drained my time, my energy, and I don't think I could have delivered the result they wanted anyway.
Mhm.
So I had to say no. I had to decline and give them reasons, but clear and simple, and just say, here's another designer that might be able to help you. I wish you all the best. And that's tough, but I know it was the right move. If I had said yes, I could just see it being something that lost me money, that built resentment, and killed my time and availability for other
Mhm.
better local projects that were a better fit. So you need to know, what are your non-negotiables when it comes to a design client? Do you only work with a certain radius? Is there a minimum investment?
Mhm.
Do you only work with really nice people who are super funny? Like, nobody wants to work with mean people. But what is it for you that's important? What are you excited to say yes to? And
Mhm.
what are you going to say no to? Because it doesn't help you move forward in business, and it truly isn't aligned with you and your company.
Mhm. And I will say this from my own experience, there's a lot of things that I can do. I've been in the world of technology for longer than I probably want to count here, but there's a lot of things that I can do, and there's a lot of things that I have done for clients because we have that relationship, and I feel bad saying no, and I don't have anyone to refer them to. But just because I can do it, I don't often want to. There's lots of areas of technology I don't want to dive into. I don't want to custom code. I don't want
Yeah.
to, get into the really analytical, logical aspect of design. I love the creativity of it. And so learning to say no to things that I can do was working a muscle for me. It took me some practice to get to that point.
Oh, it's not easy. We are in service industries, Teresa. Our job is
Mhm.
to serve people,
Mhm.
and you want to help everybody. I know, I understand. It
Mhm.
takes a while to get to that spot in business. And it is kind of the school of hard knocks that gave me more confidence to say no, because I've said yes. I've said yes to the sweet, well-meaning clients who weren't aligned with investment or timeline or aesthetic or XYZ element. And it only ends in resentment and frustration.
Well, and I find when I say yes to one of those projects, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to sit down at my computer, and I will find everything possible to procrastinate. I'll clean a toilet instead of doing what I should do. And I hate cleaning toilets, but I will find every reason to procrastinate because I don't want to do the work, because it's not my sweet spot. And I love that phrase that you used, that sweet spot where everything is in alignment.
And I completely understand in times, especially I feel like right now, a lot of designers are slow. It's a weird year economically around here. And it's so tempting to say yes to keep cash flow, to keep business in the door. But if there are things that really aren't aligned and you're saying yes, you're saying no to profit, to future availability for those dream clients, for the time to go network and connect and grow your business. So a yes always comes with a no. If you're saying yes to something, you have to understand, what are you saying no to? You're saying no to your freedom. You're saying no to being excited about showing up for work every day when you say yes to clients that are not right for you.
Yeah. That is so powerful. So what is the one thing, like your best tip when it comes to gaining clarity? What would be your best tip to offer?
Truly, and I've struggled with this too. I don't want to just be sitting here preaching. Sure. Trust your instincts. You know, when you're on that first call with somebody, if there's like I don't know. And listen, I struggle with this because I don't want to judge somebody. I haven't even met them yet. We've been talking for 10 minutes and I always talk myself out of it. Well, I just don't know them yet. Maybe when I meet them. And I'm telling you, Teresa, I look back to that initial phone call and I can pinpoint what I felt, what I saw or heard that showed me that it wasn't quite a fit. Every time. So if I can give you any advice, and it's not easy. And I say that like I've been struggling with this for years. You know, you can sense, when something isn't quite right and you're trying to fit that square peg in a round hole. Trust that when the yeses will be there. And if it doesn't feel, and this is I forget who to attribute this phrase to, but if it's not a heck yes, it's a no.
Yes, I love that. And it's so true, because anytime that I've talked myself into saying yes, because, well, the money would be good or the project could be fun, I could learn something.
I have some availability. I could squeeze it in.
Yep. The learn something. That's my biggest Achilles heel, is like, oh, I could learn something. I don't need to learn any more about technology. I mean, I can actually, but I don't need to go in as many directions as I have in the past. So that's a big one. But yes, instinct, intuition, hands down. I rely on my intuition for just about every decision that I make.
And listen, not everyone has that gut feeling. I understand. So if that is not something that sounds like it fits for you, make a checklist, have it up on your screen when you're on the phone. What are the things that need to be aligned for it to be a slam dunk project? Is it distance? Is it budget? Investment? Sorry, we don't say budget. We say investment. Is it personality? Is it project scope? Is it aesthetics? It can be one or all of those. Make your list and start thinking through, like, if they're really, like my experience, lovely people, personality, great fit. Distance, no. Aesthetic, not really. Project scope wasn't what I loved. And it became pretty clear that, unfortunately, despite them being lovely people, there were just too many things that did not align. So I said no. And that has opened me up to other opportunities and for them to find the right designer for them. So remember that there are other fish in the sea. I know you're an amazing designer. I promise there are others out there that can help the people that are not a fit for you.
Absolutely. And interesting thing, and I want to point this out because it's happened more times than I can count. When I have referred somebody away from me and say, I don't think I am the right fit for what you're looking for, but I have somebody who I can connect you with, believe it or not, it has led to referrals from that person to me. So I didn't get that project, but they knew a little bit more about who I was and what I stand for. And then they referred somebody to me who was a great fit. And that to me is like the biggest reason to say, I'm not the right fit, because you're both helping each other find what's going to work.
Yeah. There's enough ugly houses out there for all of us designers, and there's enough ugly websites out there for everyone, Teresa.
100%.
And I want to leave this as a takeaway for this first point about clarity is you can't grow if you're saying yes to everyone. Clarity is what gives you control over your business.
Absolutely. Very good. Perfect takeaway. Okay. So then that brings us to the next point, which is boundaries are your best business tool. I should put that on a t-shirt or a hat or something because
I will buy that t-shirt.
Yep. I love it because it's so true.
Yep. Boundaries protect your time, creative energy, and your bottom line. Boundaries are what make you a professional. Mm-hmm. You don't go to your dentist and they're like, oh, okay, well, you can just pay later, or I don't usually work Saturdays, but I guess I can come in for you. No, they are running a business. There are boundaries. There are office hours. There are payment terms. There are days they do and do not take appointments. Mm-hmm. They're not going to come in on a Saturday just because you don't want to take time off work for an appointment. That's not how it works. And I will tell you, it feels counterintuitive because I know, especially as women in a service industry, we want to say yes. The people-pleasing thing comes back. Yeah. The more boundaries I have put in place, and I don't mean like in quantity, but like the more I have enforced, we work from 9 to 4. No, I will not come on the weekend. No, I will not come after hours. No, I will not text you back at 10 p.m. Clients respect that so much more. They know you are running a business. You mm-hmm. are not just a decorator who does this for fun on the side. Boundaries just... Mm-hmm. It's so backwards because it feels weird at first. And then it gets real nice to be like, no, mm-hmm. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, nope, sorry. Here's what I can do is how I try to approach it and say, I'm not available. Here's what I can do for you, and give them an alternative that fits within my boundaries. But what I love about when I speak up my boundaries mm-hmm. is, like you said, they respect that. They also become a lot more cooperative.
They do.
The more that anytime that I have let boundaries slip, they become less cooperative, more demanding, and unreasonable at times. I mean, it can blow up that fast. And then this lovely, beautiful client. Oh no, mm-hmm. sorry. This lovely, beautiful client that I loved and was connected with, all of a sudden, I can't stand them anymore because I did not create boundaries, and they did human nature. They ran with it.
Yep. When clients start creating your boundaries for you, mm-hmm. then they're driving the bus. They're running the project, and they don't trust that you are the expert mm-hmm. who can get them from A to Z. They don't trust that you have a process, that you know what you're mm-hmm. doing, because you become so reactive to them and their needs. And you need to say, nope. Here are the expectations. Here's your project scope. Here's the deliverables. Here's the timeline. None of these things should be surprises. How you charge. Do you have a margin on your goods? Do you charge for procurement? All of that should be up front. Those are boundaries in your business. Mm-hmm. And when you lead with that, clients, they're like, okay. And then they just follow along instead of them trying to drive the bus and you feeling like you're being dragged behind.
Yep. Because they will. If they think you're not in control, they will try to take control. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very true. Very true. And I will say, I don't know, there's so many things I've talked about with boundaries, but I'm going to share one little web design tip that I love is use your contact page to start setting boundaries. Post your business hours when you're available, because that is a subtle way to also communicate when you're not available.
Yes.
Put your best way to contact. The best way to contact me is this. Really be clear in how you want people to reach out to you. Like, for one thing, I don't want people reaching out to me through DMs, through instant messenger, Facebook. It's too much to manage. There's too many avenues. And honestly, I probably won't see it for a while because I'm just not that good at going in there. But I make it clear. Best way to reach me is book a call. If you just have a quick question, here's my email. Here is my phone number. Like, it is really easy to connect me. And I make it clear that in a subtle way, don't do these other things because I'm probably not going to show up that way.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep. And I like that you say that about business hours, because I can just hear people like, well, I work from home and I don't have an office. Like, no, so do I. Doesn't matter. I have 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on my website. I'm not going to answer you after 4. My kids get home. I'm not available.
Yep. I don't work Fridays. Fridays are my admin day. I do not do any client work on Fridays. And it says it Monday through Thursday. My hours, I think, are 9 to 4 or something like that. But I'm very clear. And the biggest argument I get with that is like, well, but what if I'm not available to answer the phone during that time? What business is 100% available to answer a phone? Like, nobody is. They're not expecting you to answer the phone or to immediately reply to an email. They just know those are your work hours. And sure, maybe you are going to work weekends on occasion. Maybe you are going to put in a late night because you just need to do so to manage your life. That's okay. Yeah. Nobody needs to know that. And keep those hours. That's when you communicate with clients. That's when you set up meetings with clients. Yes. That's when you do those things. It's a very powerful thing.
Yes. And I love that you pointed that out, Teresa, that this is client facing. If you want to work at night and crank out designs, absolutely. If you want to draft emails, schedule send them for the next day. Don't be that crazy person sending emails at 2 a.m. But
thank you.
You can work when you want to.
Yes.
But the perception, the boundary should be, we are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. available for our clients. And listen, boundaries are not stop signs. They are guardrails, and they are what keep your business moving forward.
Oh, I love that. That is a great statement. It is true. They are guardrails to keep your business moving forward. Yeah. And yes, schedule those emails.
Yes, please. Nobody wants the email.
Send. No, yeah. Because that communicates, I'm always available. Don't reply to that text message at 10 p.m. You can type out the response if you want, but don't hit send until the next day. If you text, I don't text with clients either. So
yeah, that's another whole boundary conversation in and of itself. But yes, please don't respond outside of business hours. All you are doing is teaching your clients that you don't hold your boundaries.
Yes, absolutely. Very good. Okay. So then point number 3 here is the art and script of the graceful decline. And I'm so excited to hear how you handle this, because you handle things with so much class. I love it.
I try. And listen, we have heard the phrase, and Teresa, you and I were talking about this before we went live, that no is a complete sentence. That is true. However,
yes,
never in my life or my business, if somebody asked me, would my answer be no. I mean, unless it's one of my kids asking for something totally unrealistic. In business, no is a complete sentence that's going to destroy your business, so please don't do that.
Yes.
But what you need to do is learn how to say no politely, firmly, and in your brand voice. It should still sound like you. You shouldn't become a different person when you have to decline or say no. And remember, there are also alternatives to no. Maybe it's a referral to another designer. Maybe the project scope can come down a little bit. Maybe the start time is delayed. Maybe it's a different package altogether. You thought they wanted full service and it wasn't a fit, and now you can do a designer for a day. There are also alternatives. But I do think it is really important to learn how you can decline things in a way that feels good. And I will say, truly, I am not a wordsmith. Writing and like that's not ever been my gift. I love ChatGPT for this. It's a really beautiful way, especially in writing, or even just to have like some scripts ready in your back pocket. You can tell your robot, I call him my robot boyfriend because he's wonderful. You can tell your robot boyfriend, XYZ is the situation. I need 3 ways to politely decline because this isn't a fit. Please help me draft this in a casual, natural, conversational tone. If you are stuck, because I get the same way, like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm so sorry. You don't have to say this with a ton of apology or over explanation. It really is like a sweet spot to hit where you are able to decline politely, gracefully, and kindly. Use your resources to help you with this because they are out there now. It's getting easier, and you do need to know how to do this well.
You do. And I will say this too. For me, I usually will start off with, that's not something that I'm really good at, and I want you to have the best. And
I
I'll
love
say
that.
something like that, where it's like, because I truly do. I want them to have the best solution. I'm like, this isn't something I'm really good at, but let me refer you to somebody I trust, or here's an option that you could explore. Or, and sadly, I hate this answer, but sometimes I'm like, I am sorry, but I just don't have anybody I can refer you to on this. Here's some ways to maybe research somebody locally who could do it. And that's IT
Yeah.
things, honestly. When it comes to that IT tech stuff, sometimes I
But
don't
it's a
have a good
kind way to
referral.
decline. You are
Yeah,
showing that you do care. It's not
I
just
do.
no, but it's I'm not the right fit for whatever
Mhm.
reason. Let me help guide you in the right direction. You don't have to solve all their problems, but I think that's a lovely gesture when it is authentic and makes
Mhm.
sense
Mhm.
to refer to help direct. And I want to just talk quickly about the referral thing. Please check with the designer you're referring them to first. They also might not want that project. That's not a great fit for them either. So I try to be very careful.
Yes.
I do not want to send someone away and then that designer goes, no, like I can't help you. So your word
Yes.
means a lot. Referrals carry a ton of weight. So be intentional and be very deliberate with those referrals.
That is a very good point. And there are times when I have a web design project come to my plate that I know isn't a good fit for me.
Mm,
And one of my really good friends is Robin, who works with Nancy and does SEO audits and things like that as well. And it's not a good fit for Robin. I know that.
yeah.
But so what I will do is I do know some other web designers is I'll say, let me think about if I have anybody that it would be a good fit for you. Let me think about it. And then I'll email and I'll include Robin in this just in case maybe I miss the point. Like I can't make her decisions for her,
Yeah.
but I will email, here's what they're looking for. Is this something you would be interested in before I send that referral email?
Bingo.
Because like you said, you want it to be, you want it to be a good relationship with the referrals as well as the people, potential clients.
Yeah.
So I love that you pointed that out.
Yeah, saying no can be a trust builder. The
Mhm.
potential client trusts that you have their best interest, which is
Mhm.
why you are declining. And it's a great opportunity to support someone else in your industry that it might be a fit for. So this doesn't have to be a scary thing. It really does build trust and shows that you are someone who operates your business in integrity. Saying yes would actually be the thing that is a very bad idea for
Yes.
projects that are not a fit, because what that says is I'm in this for the money or the whatever, the
Mhm.
photos at the end. I don't have the clients or my best interest in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it's a sign of desperation. I mean, there's so many things that yes can actually bring out the negative,
Yeah.
influence in people. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So with this one, any lasting takeaways you want to share with us?
Saying no takes practice, and it's something that I hate role playing to the nth degree. Nancy loves it. That is her jam, role playing with people.
She's
If
good
you
at
have
role
a designer
playing.
friend, a coach, someone that you can just bounce this off of, practice role playing refusals so that you can confidently turn down low value, ill fitting work without burning bridges. Get comfortable with saying the words out loud. Just like Nancy and I teach in Profit Insiders Academy, when you're talking about money, it's important just to train yourself to be neutral. It is just a number. It's the same thing with saying no. You do not have to have the emotions, the apologies, the anxiety. It is simply, this is not a good fit. Here's
Mhm.
the next step. Thank you so much for your time. Just practice until you can say it and not feel like you're going to barf and die from
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah. And I will say this for practice is key. I will Voxer some of my business besties and be like, how does this sound if I need to bounce something off of them?
Love
Or
it.
if they're not available, I know they're busy or something like that. I will actually practice in the mirror. I will
Yep,
look
that works
myself
too.
in the eye and practice, because having that face looking back at me makes me feel a little bit more confident about what I'm going to say.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
just like with the boundaries, saying no in a neutral, kind, and confident way shows that you are the professional, that you are the expert, and that leads to trust and business growth.
It really does. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So then that brings us to the next point here that we were going to talk about is growth from saying no. the focus, profit, and brand power. Okay. I'm really excited about your insights on this.
Yes. Well, I'm going to read this first point verbatim because it's better than I could say it off the top of my head. So,
Perfect.
I mean, it's hard to say no when you've got room in your schedule and the money looks good. Yes, been there. But the wrong projects cost more in stress, energy, and brand damage than you will ever make back in revenue.
Yes. Oh my God. That is so powerful. And that was written very powerfully. So I'll make sure that that pops up in the big parts of the show notes, but I love that because it is so true. You may make good money, but the energy, the stress, and the damage to your brand, because you have an idea of what you want to attract, who you want to be, how you want to be perceived. When you take on a project that goes against all of that, you've just confused everyone who was thinking maybe she's the one.
Yeah. And when you start to feel resentful about a job and like, come on, we've all been there where you're like, I'm so over this. I'm just doing this for the paycheck. Clients can feel it. You're not hiding it as well as you think. No. We all know. We all know that it wasn't a fit and you're just doing it to do it. You are going to damage your brand and your reputation. And the clients might never say anything. They probably won't leave a 1-star review. But I promise you, you are not getting kind words spoken about you behind your back. You are not getting referrals from those people. Yeah. It may have filled the bank account for a month or two, but it really is damaging to say yes to projects that you should never have said yes to in the first place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me more about, instead of saying yes, you have this point, try for short-term solutions. So let's talk about that a little bit, because again, it's so tempting to say yes, especially when we have room in our schedule and dust in our bank account.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. First, and this full transparency is what I am doing right now. I am working on filling my pipeline by doubling down, tripling down. I am giving it when it comes to outreach and networking. Oh my gosh, last week, I think I went to 3 different networking events. I have been following up with people that I had great conversations with, inviting them to coffee, sending them a really simple booking link to book a 1-hour coffee on me, on their calendar. And what I'm telling them and the way I'm getting all these wonderful industry partners and potential clients on my calendar is, well, when it comes to industry partners, it was wonderful to meet you. I think we serve a lot of the same clients, and I'd love to find ways that we can collaborate, connect, and support each other in business. If you'd like to chat more about this, here's a link to book a coffee meeting. Coffee's on me. And I think I've had 7 or 8 people take me up on that in the past week, and I've got coffee meetings coming out the wazoo for the next few weeks. And you know what? My pipeline is a little bit lighter. I have the time to put a bit more into this right now. And instead of sitting back and twiddling your thumbs and freaking out, this is the right thing to do. Say yes to networking and connection. And will you be kissing some frogs first? Yeah, not everyone's going to be a dream partner, but I'm telling you, I went to a women's business summit a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago now. And there's about 100 women in the room at my table sitting next to me. Woman introduces herself, says hi. I said, so great to meet you. What do you do? Oh, I'm a luxury residential design builder. It's like, are you now? I think we need to talk. And she's been an incredible new connection. We have coffee right after we're done recording today, Teresa. This is how you fill your pipeline. Don't say yes to bad projects because you're desperate. Go out and connect with the people. Be in your community. Let people know you're there, how you can serve them, and be of value to them. That is how new, great, ideal clients come in the door.
Yeah. And I want to say something here because I see this happening a lot. I love that you pointed out that you double down, triple down on outreach and networking. What I see happening too often is they double down on Canva posts and hiding behind their computer.
Yes.
That is not going to bring people in. Yes, social media is a powerful way to market your business and to show what you are about. it is not the end all be all. And if you are an interior designer, especially working with local clients, you have got to get out there in the community and meet those people, the people who you could collaborate with, the people who have the ear of your dream clients, the people who just might love and appreciate what you have to offer and say, hey, I met this great person. You have got to get out there and start networking and connecting.
You do. And introverts, don't come at me. I am an introvert.
I
The
am too.
idea of walking into a room and doing small talk makes me want to just like hide behind my computer and do Canva posts all day. I understand. This is work. This is not just fun social time. But like, let's be real. Networking is just making friends. That's what I've learned over the years.
Yeah,
but truly, this is deliberate. This is, I am going to get out there. I am going to say hi to people. My easy in is I find someone that has a cool pair of glasses, hairstyle, earring, outfit, whatever. I find some way that's genuine to compliment them. Oh my goodness, I love those shoes. Those are fantastic. Oh, thanks. They're blah, blah, blah. I love your style. Tell me, what do you do? People love talking about themselves. And if you can get it in that isn't just like, hi, I'm Lesley. I'm an interior designer. I'm looking for work in Macon. Tell me how can I help you? What's your business? It's like, what is going on here? You need just go make friends, sit and have a cup of coffee with them, ask them questions, be interested in them and their work. You never know who they're connected to, what they might be thinking. And if you can find a genuine way to get in the door with them, I feel like the pressure melts away. When you've made that first, like, I love those shoes. Immediately, you're good. You start talking.
It so melts away. So I also am very introverted, which most people are surprised by.
Me too.
But I have woo. So I have the strength of woo, which I make quick, easy connections. I'm not real good at keeping those connections sometimes because of my introverted tendencies. But I love what you said about the compliment. That is an easy way in. I'm always looking for ways to compliment people. And I will practice this. Like I could be shopping and see somebody walking by and I'm like, oh my God, that top really makes your eyes pop. And they're genuine compliments. Like I'm not blowing smoke. Okay.
Exactly. And that's the key, Teresa. These have to be sincere.
Yes. I mean, if I say, oh my God, I love your shoes and they're wearing clogs or what is it? What is those ones?
Crocs.
Rubber
My
things.
kids love their Crocs.
Crocs. I hate those things. But
don't lead with that, Teresa. I hate your shoes is not a great way.
No, it's not a good one. But like if I were to look at somebody wearing Crocs and be like, oh my God, I love your shoes. They would be like, what is wrong with you?
I don't even love my shoes.
They're comfy. Okay. But something genuine that helps. That is a really key way. And if you're at a networking event, people are dressing for business. So it's a lot easier. They're probably not going to be Crocs.
Just don't talk about Crocs. We don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about
not aligned with our brands, Teresa.
Not at all. So, okay. Very good. So takeaways with this point, anything lasting tip you want to share?
Okay. Real brand power comes from being selective. Protect your brand. Say yes to the right projects. Say no to the wrong ones. But I wanted to mention too, sometimes you can take on a smaller bridge project that still aligns and keeps the bank account going. Like for example, maybe a full service project came in the door where you're like, this client sounds like an indecisive nightmare and I know it's going to be difficult and that probably isn't a yes, but if there's someone who is interested in a few hours of your time and you can book a designer for a day and charge a premium for one day with them, wonderful. Maybe you offer something like designer on call. Sometimes it's called designer by your side. It's a block of hours. Again, are you going to get amazing photographs? Is it going to be like the dream project? No, but is it a lovely person who fits with location and style and investment that you can serve in a different capacity? That's probably a good one to say yes to. And as your pipeline fills, you might start saying no to those, and that's okay too. You have to pivot and keep up with what's going on, but you cannot say yes to clients and projects that just have red flags all over them. I met a designer at High Point a few years ago. We spoke on a panel together, and I remember he said, don't paint red flags pink. I thought that was so powerful because we as designers like to tone it down just for, it wasn't that red. It was just No, we know. So
Mhm.
taking on smaller projects is great. Teresa, you mentioned working on the business, doing lots of Canva posts. Fully, if you have been putting off updating your portfolio website, absolutely. When you're a little bit slower, that is a good time to do these things, but don't let it be all you do thinking that that's the secret to getting business, because it's not. It
It's
supports
not.
your business and your brand, but you need to be saying yes to the right clients,
Yeah.
meeting the right people,
Mhm.
and being the face of your business. Be selective.
Mhm.
Don't lower your standards just because your calendar is a little bit light. You've got to use that space strategically, and that brings the right opportunities.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, yes, that is a great time when things are a little bit slower. It's a great time to review processes, update documentation, add new portfolios, do those kind of things. But you've got to set a time limit. I have talked to people who spent 1 hour on one Canva post. Terrible use of time. One Canva post should take a couple minutes. It really shouldn't take more than that. And if you're really getting caught up in the weeds of those things, then take a walk, go get a coffee, and start getting used to getting out there and meet some other people.
Yeah.
It's definitely, yeah. I mean, it just makes that much difference.
Well, yeah. And you have to remember, you are the CEO of your business. I don't care if you're a business of one. You are the CEO. You have to focus on doing what only you can do. Even as a business of one, you can outsource your social media. You can outsource people sending networking marketing emails. You can outsource your website to wonderful humans like Teresa. You can outsource a lot of things. You cannot outsource yourself. You're the only one that can go show up in your community, live, online, whatever it might be, and build that trust and connect with people. So sorry to tell you, spending an hour on that Canva post is not going to bring business in the door, but you spending an hour genuinely connecting with an industry partner, a vendor, a past client over coffee is.
It is going to, and it's going to create a momentum that is unpredictable and all in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to say one last thing here too. Those bridge projects. I have watched a lot of designers who focus their slow time on those bridge projects that slowly but surely grow this really solid business to the point to where they don't offer those services at all anymore, because they now have the capacity and the network and the referrals to focus fully on full service design. So don't dismiss those bridge projects, especially if you have nothing in your pipeline. Find ways.
Yeah. And remember, those bridge projects can be the start of an ongoing relationship. Yes, right now it might just be X. And I'll give an example in my own business. I had, I guess, what I would consider a bridge project several years ago. It was a referral from another designer who said no because the scope was too small. And it was design only, mood boards, selections for a dining room and a guest bathroom. That was it. Little project, no project management, no revenue to be made on goods. And so this designer passed it off to me. Great. I was able to take it on at that time. It was local. Things were a fit. The scope just wasn't as big as I would have liked.
Sure.
Fast forward to probably 4 years later now. And in 2 weeks is the move-in of the almost 5,000 square foot addition we put on that house together that I have been involved with for the last 3 years, from top to bottom, picking every finish, every detail, every piece of furniture, and managing all of that, working with an incredible builder. The bridge projects, and maybe that's the exception, not the rule, I'm sure, but don't discount those people that are coming in the door with smaller projects where a lot of it is a fit, where it does align with the services you offer. Maybe it's not your dream 5,000 square foot addition, but it's a great little project with great people. You never know where those can go and what those relationships might lead to and who they might talk about. Knock their socks off, even if it is a, quote, bridge project. Bring your A game. Do not treat this like, oh, it's slow, so I'm just taking on this little decorating project, and leave them with a subpar experience.
Right.
Rock their freaking faces off, Teresa.
Yeah.
And those seeds will be planted and it will come back to you.
Deliver the wow factor is my motto. Deliver the wow. I want people to be so overwhelmed with joy of what I deliver that they can't think of anything else but joy. I mean, I really do want to deliver my best is what it is. So absolutely. Okay. Good. This was such a great conversation, Lesley. Anything else you want to share before because I want to talk a little bit about Profit Insiders Academy because it's coming up soon. So is there anything else you want to share before I open the door for that one?
Well, saying no takes practice, it takes strategy, and it takes confidence. And those are all things that we help you and support you with in the Profit Insiders Academy.
Yeah. It absolutely is. So tell us more about Profit Insiders Academy because I have seen so much success come from that academy in my own clients. And I want other people to know that this opportunity is available out there for interior designers looking to really, truly grow a confident, profitable business.
Yes, thank you. So Profit Insiders Academy is the 1-year group coaching program that Nancy Quinn, formerly Ganza Coiffer, if you have heard her on the podcast circuit with her New York accent,
right?
I botched terribly, sorry. She and I run the Profit Insiders Academy, which is an incredible group coaching and mastermind program. It is your entire business back end. We start with pricing. That is the first thing we talk about because if your pricing is not right and you don't have cash flow, you don't have a business. So we get you right with how you're charging and what to charge and what you're offering. And from there, we go into everything: finances, marketing, confidence, body language, networking. I know I'm forgetting a whole ton. Website, SEO, social media, industry connections. I mean, truly, it is a year where you are going to learn the things you didn't even know you needed to learn and have the support to be able to say no, to show up, to just not be doing this alone because it's hard. It's easy to spend an hour on Canva hiding because you are terrified. This takes the fear out. You're with an amazing cohort of other designers, and that year will knock your socks off with the transformation. And I so hope that if you are struggling in business, that you do not struggle any longer and you get on Nancy's calendar or my calendar for a quick call, chat about the program, see if it's the right fit. If it's not, we will say no politely and kindly, and we will help direct you to something that might be better for you. But you're right, Teresa, the transformations are incredible. And
it's amazing. I have known designers who were concerned that they were going to close their doors that went into the Profit Insider Academy and become more successful than they could ever imagine. And reach those goals, not like 5 years from now, but start seeing real success during the program itself and growing from there. It's incredible transformation.
Yeah. And if you're curious, I'm sure there will be a link to the website.
Absolutely.
We've got some really cool testimonials and case studies, but one comes to mind. I know there was one designer who literally 5x'd her revenue. Can you imagine what that would do to your business and your life to know that like your cash is covered, you're good?
Yes.
So now what? So how do you go bigger or deeper or do more of what you love? And how can you be more selective? So you don't have to struggle. I know I've been doing this for 20 years. I know it's a tough business to run. And most of us, we got the design stuff nailed, but the business, the marketing, the finances, the everything else we're figuring it out one day at a time, but you don't have to do that. We got you. So please check out Profit Insiders Academy. It's an incredible program. Yes. Nancy is a phenomenal coach, and we love being able to be there for you and accessible to help you when you're struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. There will definitely be a link in the show notes as well as in the detailed show notes so that people can click on that and learn more. So, all right, Lesley, thank you so much again for joining me here. I love having you here. I will definitely have you back here next year probably. But for now, I am just going to say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for tuning in and have a fabulous week.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to The Solo Grind. If this episode gave you permission to start saying no to the wrong things so you can say yes to the right ones, please rate, review, and subscribe. It helps other solo business owners find these conversations. And if you want to connect with me or need help getting clear on your brand, your web design marketing goals, then reach me at cappingcreative.io. Remember, a full calendar doesn't always mean a healthy business. Sometimes the best thing you can do is make space for something better.